You weave your spell, your eyes they beckon me. Your lips they speak lies and mystery. I know it's wrong, but I can't turn away. The fire, they're telling me to stay. Into the fire, I'm falling. Into the fire, I'm falling. Into the fire, into the fire, I'm falling. Into the fire. Your love is bright, and your thumb rings like gold. This time I feel you won't be there now. When you're there, your love burns from my soul. Into the fire, I'm intended once more. Into the fire, I'm falling. Into the fire, I'm falling. Into the fire.
Into the Fire, and welcome, and we are live at Squarework Media's World, and I'm coming to you live at this unusual streaming time because I'm having trouble sleeping. I'm having trouble sleeping because I just don't know, and I just came on here and I saw Rebel was live, and if you've seen or paid any attention to the description of this video, and the title, it says it all. I I don't know what is going on. My mind, but just like I said in that thing, I've used the look ass phrase in the past that was on videos uploaded when I was younger on here, and I used it last year. And I took accountability because it was recklessness. It wasn't done out of hate or anything. And my mind wants to think that the things I was shown yesterday wasn't done out of hate or come from a person that's really like that. But if you do have like those views, rebel like Moses, he freely admits that, he's not fully prejudiced, but hell, he might as well call him majority prejudiced if there's even such a thing. He says he don't like 70% of white people, but does like 30% of them. I mean, and there's some people that act like you can't call out racism if you're white. There's no such thing as white racism. That's just bullshit. Racism is racism. It don't matter what color it's on. You know, excuse me, I'm hitting the bowl. This shit is crazy. I'm gonna have to find somebody to try to sell this. Sell. Y'all want to see something? I don't even really want to show myself, but it's late. But I'll turn this. There we go. I see that. It's a little dirty, but it's a bit because it's been a while since. Well, I cleaned it not too long ago. When I wasn't smoking, doing my clinicals, and now since I started using it again, it's starting to get built up. But I'm gonna have to either trash this thing or probably because ain't nobody gonna end up buying it. It ain't. I mean, it was not like it was worth a lot, anyways. Just a regular. Just a regular bong. That's all it is. I look tired, don't I? People say that I look worse. Well, I purposefully have been like going on, like you call it intermittent fasting or whatever they want to call it, but like I've gone days where like I will purposefully skip a meal because I was gaining weight. Like when I went to Massachusetts and back when I was in recovery, I gained up almost 200 pounds. I'd never been that big. And so when I got back, and since I got back, I'm like right now I'm at about like 145. But last year, I was still pushing back up to about 160 and stuff, and I didn't want to be that big. I like being around 145, 150. I mean, my grandparents used to think because of how often I didn't eat as much compared to them and other people that I had like bulimia or something, but it wasn't that. The doctor said he just picky and will eat when he wants to eat, and that's how I've always been. I am picky, and when I'm hungry, I eat, and when I'm not, I'm not. I mean, it could be, Thanksgiving time dinner, and everybody's hungry and eating. And it's not that I won't eat any of the food, it's just that I may wait a little later on and eat alone, by it's crazy. Yeah, turn this off. I don't like having a camera on. Self-conscious and all that. I just don't like having a camera on. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, JM, but you know, it's clear you think what you think, and you don't have no apologies to give. So maybe we just be best to, you know, I will apologize for what I did, which, I mean, if you look at all the things you've said negative towards or about me or family or anything, whether you want to call it trolling or joking or whatever, you know, at least I can apologize and take accountability. I was wrong for saying what I said to you in regards to your wife as a man, another man to a man. But I just can't honestly, in good conscience, associate with you if you can't even be willing to admit that at the very least you went overboard. You let all your trolling and everything get to you. I mean, maybe you purposefully got yourself into thinking to that mindset to justify it. But I'm telling you, it was wrong. Like the day before that night happened, I had seen not only my therapist and my doctor, dude. I was in no suicidal state. I was in no overdose state. I was in no active abuse of any drugs on live or nothing that y'all got proof of or video of, because I have never used any drugs or anything on live other than things like I'm prescribed, like smoking weed, or you may have heard me taking medicine before. Now I don't even let people know or hear if I am live and it's time to take medicine. I don't, try not to put attention to it or nothing or hear it. But I just, I mean, I just can't, I can't abide it, you know. Gray Wolf, the what flower I got, the the two strains is the last two strains I got. I'm done with my edibles. I'm done smoking. As much as it sucks, I'm not looking forward to it. I've been used to using weed and to the point where I think that it's almost been misuse because, my tolerance is so high and everything. And, I've just, I gotta, and I want to quit it for more than one reason because I can't keep using it. It's just like one of those things. When you become older, and it's like the Bible verse when you know, I forgot how the Bible verse goes, but when I started to learn and delve with wiser, older things, I put away kid ways or foolish ways. It's just one of those things you're growing up on, you know. I mean, besides the fact that, just with the status of the herb in the country still, and then with regards to the type of work that I've been training to do, it just doesn't mix. So I have to stop, you know, uh, you know, I have to do it for my future. And I got my stuff just in the mail. I put it away, and my herbal detox. It takes 3 days to perform. But once I finish stopping, I'll just take that herbal detox and it'll be all out my system. You even use a little bit of it on your hair to get it out of your hair roots. It's not one of those these places and stuff that's a cover up. It's something that it's made with 100% essential oils that are distilled without destroying any of the phyto compounds, and the the arrangement of the specific ones are used specifically so that when you take it, it goes down into your cells, it gets into the cellular level, the fat tissue, and it cleans it out. It doesn't mask, it flushes, it's like a flushing. Uh, you take it by mouth, the oil, and after a few days, you're clean. That's how it works. And it's really not an unpleasant thing. It's just you get to have an adjusted taste of taking the essential oil, but it's really not bitter or bad. My mentor friend that passed away is the one that used to make the formula. They have somebody else that makes it now since he passed away. But I've used it before when I was younger to get. I had a job at Nissan that was a temp job in Nashville temporarily, and I had smoked just 4 days. Like technically, I cut it way too close before my drug test, and I did it, and I passed. You know, and what helped it probably more, I may have still pissed a little out, but because you take that essential oil by mouth, and since it was a mouth drug test, I passed. Um, you know, so I know it works. You know, and I'm not doing it for that reason. I'll be doing it for the reason of, actually stopping it. At that point, I was just wanting to get a job. I really didn't want to stop smoking back then, but I wanted to get a job, and so, you know, but hell, that was when I wouldn't even, I was barely of age. I was so young back then. But, it's just another thing to eat away at my income too. It's, now if it was federally legal and I can use it medically and it wouldn't interfere with anything else in my life, I wouldn't have this mindset. But, you know, when there's other things I can take that are lawful federally and everything else and don't affect self-defense issues or job issues or anything, like, it, there's it's a no-brainer. I have to do it. But and it shouldn't be as hard because, they say that you don't get dependent on marijuana, but you do. It's more psychologically, and when I mean psychologically, I mean like within the brain. You do. Um, that's why you kind of feel depressed when people run out or whatever. But luckily, it can be overcame. But that's why I made sure to get 2 strains, get about an ounce worth and slowly, you know, lower my daily usage and stuff. And then when I get down to about like the last 3 grams, I, what I plan to do is to make it really stick. Like I, I'm gonna try to just, you know, take the last little bit I have left, and instead of smoking it, just quitting, just throwing it away. But I'll probably end up smoking it all and then just keep myself from, getting any more because, you know, it's just, it's not worth it. Like, I didn't think with, it just didn't compute in my brain that with the state taking the measures it has, even if I'm not actively using it for its medicinal benefit, like, doesn't matter. I can still be excluded from certain jobs just for having that license. And, I didn't spend this much time and focus onto an area of study and training just to waste my time and, not be, so, and I've got a test next week to get my certification, and that's got to be done for get my job. So, I'm taking, I'm going in the right order. I'm taking my time, but some people would say, oh, you should go ahead and like maybe give what you got to someone else that is a patient. Go ahead and quit now and you get it over with. But it's so close to my birthday and everything. I figured I might as well. The gift I'll give myself is before my birthday. I'll, enjoy the last little bit I got of this time to still be young and whatever. But at the coming of my birthday, I have to put childish things away. Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. That's it right there. So, what's been going on YouTube tonight? Anybody been live or anything? I was watching the movies, well, two movies, and trying to sleep, and kept tossing and turning. I got up and I kept thinking about. I saw Rebel was live before I went live. That's the only person I noticed that was live, and you know, I ain't trying to throw out no hate on Rebel or anybody. Even people in the workverse, like I want to treat them as individuals and stuff. But at the same time, it's hard to because you've supported something that's called me like a danger to women, children, my own grandfather, family. How much of it, how long of it can be called a troll before it's went too far, and it has. You can't say it hasn't. Like, Going the Workyverse has documented it. I've played it on lives. I've showed it. Well, I mean, if you got a trade or type of, that it doesn't affect it, that's fine. I just, with the industry that I'm planning to go into, they don't mesh. So I have no choice but to discontinue it as a medicine. Because, I mean, like, I worked all last year on getting this semester set up and taken care of, applying for the aid with my medical conditions that are documented that these people act like I don't have. That's what's an insult, is the state of Missouri paid over a few $1,000s for this course, and my books and everything else, because of the facts. And, you know, like I have the paperwork from the state of Missouri, receipting the receipts, basically the actual receipts that show what they covered and why and all that. And I actually was thinking and wanting to do barbering. I thought that that would be what I would choose to do. But barbering is, well, I was recommended by the person that was that's my specialist or whatever, that I could do barbering, but you know, they said that's they said that'd be more physical. They said that would be a lot more standing all the time, which would be hard on me. With what I choose, I do have to be on my feet, but I mean, I do have periods where I could sit down too. Whereas cutting hair, you're pretty much standing up all day. And not only that, there's such a vast flood of people that have it, and if you don't have your own shop or whatever, then you basically have to go work for another shop, and you know, there was just these nuances. So instead, I chose to go back for what I had been doing, because that's what I had trouble with, was direction. That's why I'm so late in my 20s with school completing, because I had started one semester and I thought I was going to go the nursing route at that time. So I did my prereqs for it that first semester, completed one. Um, and the next semester I decided, or not the next semester, but the next time I got talked into, like, I'll do EMT. So I tried to do that, and because of my back, and I think the fact that I was paired with somebody that I don't want to say, is weak, but I wasn't paired with a guy. I was paired with a girl, and she was like actually smaller than I was. But that's not the point. The point is, you know, she, she did lift, more. She could she could lift just about it a little bit more than I could, and I couldn't pass the lifting requirements because of my back. So that's why I didn't finish the EMT course. And then the phlebotomy one, when I was in it the first time and going through, I had a 93A. I was doing great. And, you know, car wreck. I miss out on, because it's a one semester course. And being that I was in the hospital for a month and we had just still about a half a month left before it would have been over. That's all she wrote. I couldn't complete it, but I did complete. It required 2 courses, medical terminology and phlebotomy, and I did complete the medical term part. And so I decided to go back for the phlebotomy. And while I'm doing the phlebotomy, if there's some way I can get into school to be a lab technician, that's what I would really like to do, because I learned during my clinicals from people that were lab techs and people I worked with that their schooling is kind of as intense as like nursing for RN, but you know, one of they said the upsides to it and the differences is, you're processing lab results and stuff. You're not dealing with patients, which I don't mind dealing with patients. It's one part I like about it, but the phlebotomy part. But I can see how that would be nice if there was somebody that didn't like to be too social, like being a lab tech was good. But the reason why I would want to do that is because they also can do the stuff that a phlebotomist can. You have to be a phlebotomist before you can be a lab tech, and so, that would be my next step in my career path after I get my phlebotomy career going. Or barbering. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not haircutting. Barbering. You're right, Z. My barbering license. You're exactly right. It's barbering. Barbership. Your barbership license. Yeah. Well, actually, they call it cosmetology. Technically, it's a cosmetology course, but for guys, it's you know, they're a barber. For girls, I guess, I don't know what it's considered for a woman. But I'm gonna try to, when I get my actual diploma that has the seal on it and is in a book and all that, I'll display it for people to see it. It takes them a couple weeks to get them made and everything. That's why I could only show the temporary one that I got. Our teacher printed those off the other day, the last day when we went to class in our uniforms and had our pictures taken and all that. She, it was just we started off with just a little bit over 10 students or whatever, just a little bit up under 20 and finished only 6. That course is hard. Hell, college, school is hard in general, you know, it's hard. I think we had at least 2 that they just couldn't, their grade didn't cut it. Like they didn't do well enough on the final for their overall score to consider passing. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just like my assumption. Maybe they just, because there was one that just mid course just got out. It seemed like for whatever reason. You never know what's happening. Some students know what's going on with other students, and some don't. I mean, I never really make make a lot of associations too much other than just interacting in the lab or whatever. And the last day we were there, I really appreciate my teacher because during all the stuff I was going through, they helped me. I mean, workers can say whatever they want. Somebody called, and I guarantee you it was somebody that's in the workers up to the place I did my clinicals and told them I was on the employee disqualification list, which would mean that I committed an act of abuse while being a healthcare worker before, which is fucking a lie. And thank God my teacher, being an RN, could also herself check the database, and I was not on that database. But the hospital, after they hearing that, they didn't like it, so they'd sent me home, and that's why I had that stream that day where I cried, and then they all had thought that I had been expelled. But my teacher told me not to worry. I just didn't see the text message. She said not to worry, we're gonna fix things. And because I had gotten 80% complete, all I had to do was just do a little bit of a few sims in class, simulation training, and I considered passed anyways, because the way the clinical sites and everything was set up and the amount of students, like there was no, I couldn't go to another site or anything. So I mean, I was extremely blessed because I didn't know that they had the discretion to be able to count me uh, to pass me, even if because technically I didn't get all the hours, but I did get all the sticks. I just didn't get all the hours. And I didn't get all the hours because I was halted by the workyverse from that call is what kept me from finishing my 120 hours. I got 100 hours. I only was missing 20. So that was short enough for them to, you know, mark me as passed anyways. They wasn't gonna let me just be counted out getting that fucking close. And, I called my teacher and I really, I went out of my way to thank her, and I wanted to send her something, but my grandfather said, "No, that's you told her enough how you feel, And she met with us, and afterwards, I went in there to turn my paperwork out, and went in there, and she was, she'd been very, very nice and helpful, and so was the dean. Yeah, I wasn't, and I don't know how, but fusion. Now that it's over with, Fusion said Amy, the name Amy. We know about Amy. Now, how the fuck did you know about Amy, Fusion? Because Amy is the name of a girl that was in my class, my college class, who I don't see how in the fucking world you would have been able to discover that. So how were you in contact with? Because that's the only way the workers knew that I was working and doing my clinicals where I did them. because every student had a copy of the clinical schedule, and it had the clinical locations in each student and where they were supposed to be. So all they had to do was that would have been the link for them to find out where I was doing my clinical work at, was a student. And Fusion on a stream, I may not be able to find the stream because it's hard and it was a ways back, but on one of their streams, he mentioned her name. I even showed it to my dean because I could not believe it. Like, I'm like, am I being followed? Is there somebody in class that fucking watches this shit? Like, how? I'm not saying the girl's last name. I'm not going to, but her first name is Amy. And they knew also that I had a conflict in class. And you want to know what that conflict was? When we were drawing one another's blood, being that it was like there was a certain dynamic, okay, and being that I was the only dynamic on my side, I kept getting left out and it was getting on my nerves. So I complained about it, and you know, it basically it was just a little bit of drama because there was Amy's friend, Bing Bing Bing, had said something to me in class, and very disrespectful, rude, out of the way in lab, and it made me upset. And on her own, she apologized to me in class the next time we were in there. Because, I mean, it was, it was really uncalled for. And it all spurred out all because that girl, she just didn't like me criticizing how, they didn't mind, like we were having to train before clinical, everyone I was sticking each other. And I get it that they're girls and I'm a guy, but it's like they didn't mind sticking me, but it's like every time I was trying to get a stick on one of them, there was an excuse or something. And I finally got tired of it and I said something. And when I did, and and, and she basically went out of, said something that was an insult and rude. And I guarantee if I said to her, I probably would have ended up being kicked out the class or something. And, you know, but she did apologize. Probably because they told her that, if not, and she, that it, just, and after that, they made it to where, we went back to only sticking, uh, we were just going to wait until clinicals to start because it wasn't just me that happened to. It happened to two other girls. They were like they were not able to get. They were constantly, getting stuck. But when and they could stick one another. But when they would try to stick the other girls too, there was, how cliques form in classes and stuff. And that's what I said. I've said it like it's been a curse almost in my life, all throughout school and everything. Anywhere cliques develop and stuff, I have a hard time dealing with them. I don't get along with them. Uh, you know, it's just always been like that. I'm just fucking hope to God glad now it's over. In a way, though, it's kind of not over for me, or never will be over because there's no resolve to any of that shit. Any of the stuff that happened that kind of haunts me that was done wrong by me towards me. That you know, call it a weak mind, whatever, but it fucking it haunts me. It fucks with me. Like, even just some of the stuff like that I've been done in relationships in the past with exes. That's why I'm so. It's why recently with the people that I've dated or saw for the short time, like I was standoffish on like making myself vulnerable or getting close really to them because I'd been done such fucked up in a relationship. If you talk to anybody that's from around where I'm from, or that's grown up here and had the chance to actually get away and move to a city or something and stay away, they all tell you the same thing. That if you can get out of here, get out of here because there's nothing really worth around here besides family. Other than that fact, there's not a whole lot else. Once family is out of the equation, you really should leave this area because, and the people that don't or that have family and end up staying their whole lives, like, they either do all right and, work positive, or they become part of the majority that's like, just barely you could call getting by to live. And that's what a lot of people around this area do. I mean, this area sucks because there's so much poverty, crime, drug abuse, you know. We're coming up on a 3-year anniversary of that guy that's gone missing I've covered before, part of true crime. He didn't go missing. He was killed, body put away somewhere never to be found. Not one single arrest made. It's just I think the world is, I don't know, almost in a way getting more. I don't think it's getting worse. I think just how bad it's always been is just being broadcasted more, if that makes any sense. We're just seeing such a increase in stuff. Like Johnny went live. I hadn't seen this. We need to have a talk. fucking check this out. Who knows what's happened now? And that's how I started coming on here, was following him and his story. I mean, I don't think that's going to change right now or soon. Oh wait, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember now. He was live. That's right. I'd seen it live, and I'd fallen. That's when I was trying to fall asleep, but I didn't watch any of this really.
Intuition. Every time something has happened, like with the situation with the police in my hometown and all that shit, usually my intuition has been right. 90% of the time it has. So y'all wonder, no, it's not repeating now, Jonathan. It might be. Let me turn this off up here, but it shouldn't be now, Jonathan. Something's brewing, guys.
Citizen Z, what all is he talking about? Do you know? Because that's actually a long live, and I don't know. I'm really gonna try to get some sleep, but I ain't been able to sleep. I don't know if I'm gonna think fucking watching it on here or not. I had something texted to me. What it basically was in a nutshell was that he went live saying that he'd been getting. Somebody told me that he'd been getting a lot of threats or something. I'm wondering what all he may have said. That's why I'm asking you, Z. Trying to get a short version without having to watch it all. Holy shit. He said an Upchurch is trying to murder him now. What the fuck? I don't know what to think about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna review any videos or anything, guys. I need to stay on the subject about Carolina Rebel. You know, man, Rebel, and this is me talking to you, like, dude, I thought we was becoming friends, man, but I mean, just like I can't abide or being cool, you know, with people, no offense, but, you know, JM or Fusion doing things wrong to me at the same time, like, man, like, you're harboring hate for people or singing songs like that, like, number one, let's say you just did it as a troll or because you wanted to ruffle feathers. That was a bad fucking idea if that was really the thinking behind it. And people are going to say me giving you that type of thinking is too much the benefit of the doubt type shit. But I mean, I can understand that might have been what it was. You said it was towards Iceman. almost as if like Iceman is into that type of shit too, which, don't look good towards him and on him if somebody sees that. Man, and I'm just not racist. Like, I've had so many different friends that have been multicultural and everything, and Muslim, and Christian, Jewish, I belong to an organization that promotes getting along and coexisting with other religions and stuff. Like, I, I'm not a racist, and I can't, just like me mistakenly fucking having that racist Scarface around here, and then him going on that time and putting a fucking pillowcase on his head already and turning the camera on, you know, you have any idea, like, and Fusion and them, they got that picture, that's out there. They got that clipped. And I would ask respectfully, please, like, that's not fair, guys. Please, out of anything you made on me, please take that shit down. Because I did not know, like, I don't go around watching content on everyone's content on to try to find everything. I know there's a lot of lives and videos that get moved, unlisted, deleted that I've never seen. I'm sure. People probably said stuff that would blow my mind, maybe even concerning me, So you shouldn't find it hard that I had never seen that video. I don't watch Filthy's Rumble. I don't watch anything on Filthy. I'm not subscribed to him. I'm not actively subscribed to anyone in the Workyverse. That's a fact. It's been that way. Just because they've been up on my panel and whatnot does not mean I'm subscribed to them. Sure, sometimes do I go out of my way to maybe go and have a peek or something? Yeah, I will. But that's, rare. Like if I'm waking up or I'm awake on a day or something or doing something, come back home. And instead of like going live, I just want to look online and see what's going on, like in those situations. Rebel, if you don't want to ever come up on panel and explain it, we just go our separate ways, that's cool too, man. You going out of your way to say, like, don't be trying to put any attention on me because, like, you don't, I mean, it was almost like you was threatening, like, to, like, well, I explained it earlier. Like, yeah, I told you that stuff I was talking to you about in private, like, I'd rather you not, I don't want it ever getting out, accidentally or whatever towards them. I did say that. And, like, you didn't have no business trying to use it against me because when you said that, then you just caused me to have to be open and tell the whole truth about it. There's nothing wrong about it. It's just, like people have tried to tell me all the time, not all your business in your life needs to be on the internet, and you can't get mad at me for a video that you did that's got that your video has the attention, not me. I didn't push it on you. I know he's live, but I'm not gonna go confront him. Like he's not over here, and I ain't gonna start shit at no 2 o'clock in the morning. Z. I'm gonna try to go back and get some sleep after I just hit that bowl I'm done with, and I'm actually gonna try to get some sleep. I didn't take. I wasn't really worked up too much last night, so I I had an Ativan left over, and I think I may just go ahead and take it because you know I don't know, like I don't know about anything. Like I saw that you get along with Fusion and them, and you say, well, yeah, I try to get along with anybody. I don't like drama. That's cool and stuff. And next thing you'd probably say is that doesn't mean I'm part of the workyverse, you know. But I don't really know that, and you know, the fact that it was made out of the niche of liking to keep track of my videos and everything, and catalog them, like I don't. It's like they're trying to see if they can get me to coexist with them, with the archives exist and everything else. Like all while that stuff exists, like I can't, I can't have them regularly up on my panel and stuff because I'm putting myself to make myself look out to be a fool, or you know, or like MC tries to call me and say a glutton for punishment, even though I'm not. That's what he'll confirm it by the fact that he lets us all up on panel or something, like and I don't even know what side really, if anything, that trolling the wordyverse is on. He probably say, "Oh, I'm on no one's side. I'm on the truth side." Whatever. Okay. So I don't know, man. There's just so much on here that people try to keep from talking about, or going there on that subject specifically or whatever, and it just leaves a lot of blanks when it comes to certain topics and stuff, or positions, or what you're to think about certain things. I just don't like it because I'm not a person that's into belief, and I know that when I don't know something, I like to know stuff, and if I'm being told or hearing nothing but the word belief coming out of people's mouths or typed or whatever, well, then I know for a fact that it's a pretty good guess almost nobody knows what is actually occurring. Like MC saying that I was featured over at Kiwi Tapes, which is that thing that covers a lot of locales. So, like, I don't want to be cemented as a locale, and you guys being part and the main reason of me being cemented or called that term is why I find it hard to even communicate or have any of y'all on block. And none of y'all seem to understand that. And it's like, okay, you'd think that, you know, if 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 they're really decent folk, that they, after seeing and witnessing the time that they have, they have overstated at the very least and overplayed a lot of things they thought about me. And if they can't admit that, and the fact that they just thought X, Y, or Z, and they never really knew or had actual any real confirmation, then I don't know if I can continue it up, because you know some of these people actually think, like, in their mind, from what it appears, from what I'm gathering, like they were acting purely out of altruistic means to help keep my life secure. And I just, with the calls and follow-up calls to the jail and everything, I just, no, sorry. That just ain't gonna fly for me to buy. That dog don't hunt. I don't buy that. I don't buy what you're selling there. Sorry. I never deserve to be put on that psych ward. If it's not clear from the fact I was released before the hold was legally up, I don't know what was. Because if the doctors really thought I was crazy or had been being a junk box or abusive to myself and medicine or anything, they would have made me stay for at least the whole time, at least. And they didn't. They hurry up and got me out of there, because from the moment I got there to the moment I left, my story didn't change, because it was the truth. It's just like Mark Twain said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. And that's all I got to say. I'm out. And I don't know who the hell that is, but ain't no one burned no one's body. Don't even ask me a type of question like that. That's fucking stupid.